Hello friends, welcome to Data Pandit. Today we are going to talk about the difference between SQL RDBMS and NoSQL AWS DynamoDB. So as part of first video, we talked about the architecture of the Amazon DynamoDB. Let's talk about the difference between traditional RDBMS and today's DynamoDB is a NoSQL database as a service. Okay. So, so both of these database systems have their own advantages and disadvantages, and they are very well suited with their corresponding use cases. Actually, so as an application developer, we may think there is a relational database system and SQL, wherein we use the SQL structured query language. But as and when we start working with the Amazon DynamoDB, so there will be a little bit difference with respect to the interaction, with respect to the day-to-day working. Maybe the queries maybe similar or a little bit difference, but there is a term NoSQL, which describes the non-relational database systems. You know, and as it is an it comes with the cloud system, so it's highly available, scalable actually, and these non-relational databases are optimized for high performance. You know, instead of the relation model, they are they are uh, they are specific to structure with respect. Okay, but DynamoDB they store as a key value pair or we call it as a document. Okay, so let's talk about different parameters. The high-level differences. If we talk about how they are storing their workloads actually. So what are the workload they are are responding? So this is typically databases applications are like a OLAP system or OLTP system. So mostly they are. If you talk about OLAP systems, right, online analytical processing, wherein they are corresponding to data warehousing applications, right? In Amazon, traditional relational database systems. But in Amazon DynamoDB, that will be based on web scale applications actually. The request will be coming over the internet, from the any GUI applications and probably the social media networks or any gaming application or probably the media application or internet devices. Okay. Mm, so irrespective of traditional database systems and the data models. So RDBMs they have a relational database model wherein we have a normalized structures, defined structure with respect to tables, rows, and columns. And then there is a column. There are the indexes built on top of the tables. Okay. But in DynamoDB, these are schemaless because they are getting stored as a key value pair as a JSON document, most probably. And DynamoDB can manage even structured or both semi-structured data. So with respect to JSON documents, okay. If we talk about the data access, how we are going to access the data. So in the relational database system, so we have a query language. So this is a standard for storing and retrieving the data, SQL language actually. So relational database systems, there are rich set of tools to simplify the development of the database driven applications. Uh, and all those tools use SQL as a query, but with a little bit difference. If you talk about Oracle or other other databases like Sybase IQ or maybe DB2, so there will be a little bit syntax difference, but altogether overall there is a same language, and same query language is supported by all the RDBMS databases. But in AWS DynamoDB, so that it can be accessed through AWS CLI. That is another set of command lines, and uh, so then there is application programming gateways actually. If we talk about the SDKs, software development toolkits, so supported by different .NET, Java, and Python languages. So these object-oriented, document-centric LOL interfaces are available actually to access the DynamoDB. And if we talk about the performance, so yeah, relation database systems are optimized for storage actually. So performance generally, they are going to depend upon the disk and how our input output operations are happening, and the structure of the table, and depending upon the complexity of the query. But DynamoDB are optimized for computation actually. So they align their storage based on the respective queries. Okay. So therefore, the DynamoDB, they are isolated from the actual implementation of the application. Rather, they are designed for high performance applications. And the storage would be differing depending upon the query. And scaling, so they are in traditional RDBMS systems, they are scale up with fast hardware, and they are vertical scaled actually. Same CPU can be upgraded with the more core, and and the hard disk is or SSD are upgraded with the more volume of storage. But in DynamoDB, they are vertically scaled, and as an we can specify the increased throughput in terms of provisioning. So depending upon that limit, it's going to be a scaled up depending upon the total number of data requirement, and the specific load. So these are the different high level 5 parameters. And if you talk about the characteristics of the database, so how different tools are getting access to the DynamoDB and RDBMS. Let's look at this picture. So whenever we talk about accessing the relational database system, so there will be a specific persistent connection, network connection between the database and the client application. Then the SQL statement are fired from the client application editor, and those going to be hitting the database, and the data would be retrieved as part of query. The response would be come and shown into the client application. But in terms of Amazon DynamoDB, because this is mostly related to the web applications, so the web HTTP request, yeah, API request would be coming as a payload from the client application, and it would be requesting the data from Amazon DynamoDB, and Amazon DynamoDB is serving the data, and it's replying in the terms of HTTP response actually. So 200 is the response code whenever 200 is understood as a successful response. So and the payload would be coming as a response, and then the response would be read and retrieved from the client application or client programming interface. So this is a typical as a typical kind of data movement between the client and the underlying database. So if we talk about, let's switch over to the different parameters. What are the tools can be used? So in mostly the relational database system, so there is a command line interface, and ad hoc SQL statements would be fast. But in terms of DynamoDB, there is a AWS CLI as well as Amazon Management Console, and also ad hoc request, fast from the using different SDK tools. Okay. And in terms of connecting to the database, so there will be an application program which will be maintain the network connection with the database, and as and when the required, and whenever the connection is terminated, the connectivity also getting terminated. But in terms of DynamoDB, because it's a web service, so it's the stateless. So as and when request is sent, then only the connection would be there, and after response, then there will be no connection. Okay. So how the authorization and authentication is going to happen is, whenever an application tries to access to the RDBM, so there is an authentication, there is a username password, and then those will be checked with the directory service, and the authentication will happen. But in DynamoDB, the details would be traveling with the request, and then there will be a authentication is going to happen, and then there will be authorization. So authorization in the terms of applications, can perform only the actions, from which they have been authorized. So so there are certain applications which are authorized to access the certain RDBMs. Only those applications can access. But in case of DynamoDB, so there are IAM rules. So access management, identity and access management policies are attached to it. So depending upon based on those, the access would be granted. So how the request response mechanism works? So whenever in terms of SQL, so the data would be coming travel, as a part of SQL language. So the RDBMS would be checking the syntax as and when it receives the SQL statement, and then it creates the query plan, and then the result would be returned as part of the data in the row and column form. Okay. But in the case of DynamoDB, so a HTTP request would be served, you know, along with the parameters, the response would be sent as part of HTTP response. And similarly, while receiving the response, RDBMS return the result from the SQL statement, and if there is an error, then RDBMS returns an error status for the message. And in case of DynamoDB, if 200 messages come, then there is a operation is successful, and also the result would be retrieved and accessed. So these are the different characteristics related how we are going to access, how the connection is going to be established, and how authorization and request response works in both the databases. If you talk about a little more technical, like day-to-day operations of databases, like creating the table. So the creation of the tables, like we have a create table statement in a SQL. Similarly, we have a in DynamoDB also we can create the table using AWS CLI command. So there is a command, and or through the any programming language, we can specify in terms of and this is on form, and getting the data from the table. So you know I mean, to describe the table, to get the metadata of the data, so we have a describe table statement, and similarly in DynamoDB table also there is a describe table action is there actually. So using that action, we can do so. Describe table action also returns indexes on the table actually, and all the other attributes like provisioning, throughput, settings, and other metadata. So if you want to write the data into the table, then there is a SQL statement is inserted into the table. Similarly, we have insert into statement, and that can be run use PartyQL. PartyQL is another query language, is similar to SQL query language, which is used with the DynamoDB. So PartyQL we are going to see in when we are going to do the hands-on exercise. Okay. Or using the classic API mechanism, we can pass the pass that API to the using programming language to the DynamoDB, and we can do the writing data table operation. Okay. Then there is a similar reading from the table. So we have execute statement, we have get item, we have query item, and we have scan. So So like in RDBM system, we have a select query statement in terms of getting the data from the database. But in DynamoDB, we have a execute statements actually, you know, and batch execute statement for bulk operations, and get item. You know, there is another function which we can use, and batch get item for many more operations, for many more data to retrieve. Then there is a query and there is a scan. You know. Mostly we use the query actually. So query use the index and it will be returning those many required data. But in scan operations, the whole table is getting scanned. Therefore, we avoid scan operation. Rather, we use the query operation. Okay. And similarly, we have there are SQL statement, and for managing the indexes. So we have a global indexing and local indexing, in DynamoDB. So those are managed using the AWS CLI command. Okay. So those we are going to see when we are going to do the hands-on exercise. Okay. So then there is a removing statement and deleting data. So these statements would be either from the AWS CLI commands or from the particle query. Okay. So when we are going to do the hands-on exercises, then we are going to see in detail what is the syntax, how the syntax, where we are going to execute those statements basically. Okay. So yeah, with that, thank you so much.